I mean, I love my parents.
And you definitely disappoint them.
Yes. Fuck. Shit. What is up, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to Wasted Local Talent yet again.
I'm Jed.
That is not Jed.
I'm not Jed.
And it's not weird because Jed is still not fucking here to record with me.
So, like, I'm not Jed, and here's two reasons why. One, I have hair.
Yes.
And two, I have personality.
So true.
Y'all are so mean. I don't even
And
know
we
the guy.
also have, was it Tryon Werner?
Hi, that's Don Rona. Hello,
Ryan
everybody.
Gurus of Gaming invading Wasted Local Talent. Roger and Ryan.
Yeah, we're actually going to do an episode with you guys soon.
I can't wait.
Hopefully. If
Yeah.
we can find a fucking day to do it. Because you are definitely on my long list of people to record.
Please don't pick, like, February or March.
It won't be. I'm going to try to get you guys in before that.
Nice.
But-
Show choir season kills me.
Yeah, I bet. Being
And I have
both
play
of,
season, yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
both of your school teachers.
Yes.
Yep,
And,
we are busy men.
between that and the podcasting, and Roger, you're married. And,
Yep.
You know,
I have a wife, got a cat.
got a cat.
I have
Cats
a
are-
dog.
You have a dog.
I have
Dogs
a dog.
Yeah. See, dogs are a lot more
Dan-
responsibility
Daniel
than
has
a
been
wife
wait-
and a cat together.
Daniel has been woken up many a time by my cat.
Oh my god, that thing was that fucking cat, dude. How many times like just destroyed my
Like,
face?
how many
like,
times were you
overnight?
passed out on my couch and the cat wakes you up at 6 a.m.?
A lot.
Yep.
A lot. Almost every single night that I stayed there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this week we had the pleasure of recording a band from Charleston called J Parade, and I know that Roger and Ryan here have probably never heard of them.
I've never heard of J Parade, so I'm excited to listen to the
They're
episode.
really, really cool. You can find them on Bandcamp, Spotify, iTunes, all that by just J Parade, and on Instagram, J Parade Band, and Facebook, just search for J Parade. You can find them there. And why don't you
Let's
guys
check
tell
that
us
out.
a little bit about Gurus of Gaming?
So, Gurus of Gaming is one of the 4 podcasts currently under the 13 Palm Trees banner.
Goddamn right it is.
Yeah, goddamn right it is. So,
yeah, you
here's an
right.
interesting, here's an interesting
right,
fact
right.
about 13 Palm Trees. So, there are 4 owners of 13 Palm Trees, correct?
Correct.
And like each of you is valued at like what, like 3-4 palm trees apiece?
I mean, I would say. I mean, obviously, you'd have Michael at 4.
Michael's
and
4
the
palm
rest of
trees.
us, you would assume are 3.
You're 3,
Yeah.
and then Ryan Wolfong is 3.
Yeah.
How many palm trees is Jed?
I guess we'd have to redo that math because my estimation would be about 0.5.
Is that because he doesn't have any leaves?
I think so.
Okay, that
There's
makes
nothing
sense.
up top.
That makes sense.
Just no fucking coconuts either. There's
So you have to
fucking no
produce
goddamn
coconuts.
nuts. He is a nutless, hairless
Diamond
fucking
coconut.
tree.
We sing a lot. I sing a lot on our podcast. I'm going to sing a lot right now.
Do it. Sing us a song. Sing us a song.
So, Gurus of Gaming, if you are into video games, and we're going to be on the show here hopefully real soon. If you like video games and anything video game related, and anything that's related to tangents, because we get off on those a lot.
long
Check out our
tangents.
show. Long tangents. Like, for example, our next episode that's coming out, we dive into lots of things like music, and it's not a music podcast. We even have a special guest appearance by Topher from D&D Content coming up
Yeah.
on our next episode. So fun times.
Yeah. So where can they find all of your stuff? Instagram or Facebook? Or
We are on Facebook at facebook.com/Gurus of Gaming. You can find us on the Twitter at Gurus of Gaming. YouTube.com, search for Gurus of Gaming. Please subscribe because we need 100 subscribers to get our own URL, and we really want that. And we're on twitch.tv/Gurus of Gaming, so you can follow us on Twitch. Foamsby streams a lot of Red Dead, a lot of Fallout, so you'll see him playing that a lot. I tend to stream on Twitch with PC, but when I'm on PS4, I tend to stream onto YouTube. So lots of outlets you can find us. We also have Patreon. Check us out on patreon.com/Gurus of Gaming so we can get some monetary donations to find new ways to bring you new content. We want to get a capture card so we can. My goal is to stream. If we have a capture card by then, I want to stream a Smash Brothers tournament.
yes,
and
that would be
my
fun.
plan is to have all 4 of the Gurus of Gaming hosts at the tournament, and I want to invite Wasted Local Talent and D&D Kinda as well to the tournament, and we'll have a nice little be a good
And
time.
we'll all be drunk and we'll all be naked. So you definitely want to watch it.
Yeah,
Especially
speaking
you want
of
to be Ryan
naked, if you donate $100 a month to the Gurus of Gaming Patreon, I heard that Roger will get a full size movie poster of him naked. He's photoshopped into like the original Matrix poster, but it's
Yes.
him naked.
And if you donate $200, I've got another special treat. Are you a Seinfeld fan by chance?
Me myself,
Yeah.
I dabbled in it a little
Okay,
bit
so
like a long time ago.
You know the
but-
poster in Seinfeld of George in his underwear where he's just like in a hair position?
yeah.
So recently, Mike Leach, the head coach of the Washington State Cougars, I'm a huge college football fan, by the way, had a poster made of that of himself, and he hung it in his office. And now
my
apparently
God.
you can't take him seriously during an interview at all. He sits under it and just stares at you. I will get a poster of that myself, and I will send you personally a copy of me in that position wearing a diaper.
$200 a month.
$200 a month.
$200 for a diaper, $100 for naked.
Yeah.
So you pick your poison there.
Yeah.
Good poison.
Well, to me, it's like, looking at porn or something, it's that anticipation factor. Like you might see boobies, you
It's
might
like-
see a dick.
it's like on-off.
It's yeah. You want that anticipation.
Like The Office always
it's
better
a
when you've seen
tease.
the on
You're not
first.
sure what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's what sucks about high-speed internet now. Like back in the day, like you're 13 and you're like dial up. You're like it's just loading down. You're like that's the
When I was 13,
anticipation
dial-up
there.
was a
And
thing.
you usually
You gotta
just
wait
like
for the titties.
fucking blow your load before it even loads the titties,
Like
or
when
they're
I was-
still pixelated.
When I
Now-
was 13, it's like everything had a credit card required, and I was like, man, I gotta stay up and watch Cinemax at like 11:30 midnight. That way I can see some movies.
I wonder if my parents will really realize this fucking porn charge on their credit card.
And they won't
You
know.
can't search anything on Google that starts with B.
Yeah.
I really hope mom doesn't try to search for baking recipes, because when she hits B, it's gonna come up boobies.
Oh man. Okay, that got a little bit off topic. Anyway,
Welcome to Gurus of Gaming.
welcome to Gurus of
Exactly.
Gaming. All right, so this week, like I said, we have Jay Parade from Charleston, West Virginia. My name is Daniel, and we're going to get to the episode here. But first, I want to tell you about where you can find Wasted Local Talent. You can find us on Instagram at Wasted Local Talent, Facebook, same thing, Twitter at Wasted Local. Go to our website, 13palmtrees.com/Wasted Local Talent. There's an application on there. Go ahead and fill that out. Shoot us over an application. We are very booked up and very far behind on booking. We're actually looking for 2 or 3 new hosts. So if you're interested, shoot us an email at daniel@13palmtrees.com. And we're going to actually hopefully be recording some or getting some hosting coming in, hopefully, if people are interested, and get you some lined up with some people, and that way we can get caught up and get more episodes out to you. So if you're interested, like I said, Daniel at 13palmtrees.com. Also, don't forget to check out Worst Kept Secret. They are the band that's playing at the beginning and end of all of our episodes, except for this one, because at the end of this episode, there is a live set from Jay Parade. But Worst Kept Secret, song's called Bender. Check them out on Bands in Town by searching Worst Kept Secret, and on Facebook and Instagram at Worst Kept Secret WV. And now we will get to the episode. And thank you, Roger. Thank you. Try and Runner. That's
Yeah.
I kept trying to figure that out.
I got to do the
His
voice
Gurus
acting
of
now.
Gaming
Yeah.
alter ego.
My voice changes every time I do try and run it.
Try and run
It's
it.
fine. Don't worry about it.
All right. Do you guys have any? Okay, I'm gonna do a thing right here.
Okay.
Before we get to the
We
episode.
play games.
I don't have any
What's
games.
my favorite way to wrap up a podcast?
Love games.
Love
yeah.
games.
I would like for you two to have the final word.
I never get the final word.
Bull crap. You never get the final
I
word.
never get the final word. You guys always get the final word.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you next
No,
time
that
is the
doesn't count.
final word.
That doesn't count. Ryan, I'm going to let you take the first final word. I'll take the second final
So
word.
really, you get the final word.
It's just like Gurus of Gaming.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say here other than you guys should totally go check out Givers of Gaming. Thank you for letting us do this little intro thing.
Fucking A.
Yeah, it's cool.
So I'm going to play off my the promised Patreon goal of the Matrix poster of myself. I know Kung Fu.
Fuck yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm Daniel,
And I'm Jed.
and today we're wasting our talent with
Dave?
Jonathan.
And Josh.
from
Jay Parade.
Jay Parade.
Nice.
How'd you guys get that name?
Dave, I believe you have something prepared for this.
Yeah, I've prepared the
Get your
statement.
notes out.
Standard preparation for this. So Jay was a derogatory term in like the 20s or something. That's where the term jaywalker came from. I guess like cars were just starting to take off at the time, and streets prior to cars being there were more for pedestrians. But when cars started taking over the road, they wanted all these people to get out of the way, and they started using that derogatory term Jay and said jaywalker. So a Jay is kind of the derogatory nature of it, I guess, means that they're an idiot or something. So we're a parade of idiots.
That's fair. So are we.
Yeah.
Me and Jed are definitely idiots.
It's a good thing you guys got to that before we did.
Yeah. This would be a completely different podcast.
Totally different format.
So when did you guys form? When did you guys start Jay Parade?
When was it, Connie?
I think it all went back to high school.
20. Well, yeah, we've known each other since high school. Like we actually played in our high school show choir backup band, and then because Dave was 2 years ahead of us in school, and then we didn't hear from Dave for like a decade, and then he
He
called
was
me
dead
up.
for decades.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And he actually sent me a random Facebook message one day and was like, "Hey, you want to join this band I'm in?" And I was like, "All right, but my stuff's broken." And he's like, "Well, I can fix it all."
Yeah.
So then I was kind of like trapped into doing it because he fixed everything. And then I think December 2017 is when we had like our first jam session.
17.
Yeah.
I think
No,
that's
it has to
16?
be 16.
16?
Yeah,
'cause
All right.
that was just
yeah, that was like
few months ago.
So a little coming up on
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, getting close to 2 years.
And then we just started playing like shows like last October. So it's still, we're still relatively new and trying to get going a little bit, but
So you guys are from Charleston,
Yeah.
Charleston area.
yep.
Is everyone originally from there?
Yeah, the area.
Yeah. We're just north of Charleston. We grew up Elkview, Clendenin area.
yeah. I've lived there since about 2 years old. So
Yeah.
So Dave, you play guitar, correct?
Correct.
And you do vocals.
Correct.
Okay. And Jonathan, you play drums.
that's correct.
Okay. And Josh, you play bass and vocals.
Yep.
Now on the, I listened through the EP a few times actually. Do you both do vocals on the EP? Like you do take song kind of like an Alkaline Trio style, where one will do a full song, the next one will do a full song.
Yeah, I mean that's the way we started writing when all this kind of started. Me and Connie both kind of write our own songs and our own styles, and
And Connie is Josh.
yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
That's me.
That's him. So we just kind of write, our own stuff and bring it in, and we'll form it a little bit. We try to arrange it as a band and get it exactly where we want it. But for the most part, it retains the style and vision of the original writer, as opposed to trying to do a bunch of group writing sessions and things like that. Because I've had a lot of trouble with that in the past. It's difficult to get anywhere, and it's difficult to produce quickly with that. So if you're the sole visionary behind the song, then you can make it happen a lot more quickly.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how we did it. So for the most part, if I write a song, I'm probably the one singing it, and if Connie writes a song, he's probably the one singing it. But we still we'll sing different parts at different times. Like I might do a chorus or something while he does the verses.
So do you let Jonathan do any of the writing? Typically, most bands don't let the drummer do anything other than play.
Well,
and
their
even
songs-
then, it's
We've encouraged it.
We
All
tried.
Songs come with no drums written, so I have to end up.
so you have
Yeah.
to write the drums.
Doing
So they
that
at least
part.
don't write, because I get in the habit with After Atlas where I'll write the full song and the drums, and whenever he changes the drums, I get pissed. It's like it's supposed to be that way for a reason, but obviously, he's creative. He's a better drummer than I am.
Yeah.
So he can hear things and do things that are better. So
I'm working on a couple songs. They've been in the works for several months now.
Yeah. But he is writing something, and we have started recording a demo for it. So, there's something on the way.
So you have how many? You have 2 EPs out or 2 albums out now, or is one just?
One was just a demo album.
Yeah,
album.
just kind of live recorded in our practice spot, just so we can have something out there. Because usually when somebody wants to play with you, you want to give them something to, so they have an idea of what to
Of
expect.
kind of what you sound like, and the other one is called what? Crying Over Spilled Coffee.
Yeah.
And that one came out. How long ago was that?
March.
Yeah,
Beginning of March.
And you guys recorded with Greg down
Yeah,
there, didn't
right.
you? Okay. Does he have his own studio down there?
He has his own studio. He did all the. We recorded the guitars and stuff ourselves, and then went there for drums and vocals, and he did mixing, and then we sent it off for mastering to someone
Okay.
else.
Cool.
And it's a pretty slick workflow, as long as you can get Greg tied down.
Yeah. We
busy
actually,
guy.
He seems like a really busy guy.
He's a very busy guy.
yeah, we were lucky we had, because Jonathan and I both work in the school system, so we had Thanksgiving break off, and that's when we got
A lot of
almost all of it done. And then from then on, I was just doing, adding different stuff here and there and going back and forth in mixes. So
Yeah, and we added horns to Jimmy, so
I
you
love
could
that
start
song.
to add.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
just on one afternoon, we got a hold of a couple guys from Beggars Clan, which is a reggae band in Charleston, and I think all 3 of us were writing parts just driving to the studio on the way there that day, and then we were like, can you do something like this? And they're like, yeah, sure. And then they just banged it all out in
Yeah.
45 minutes or
Those
an hour.
guys were pros, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, we were listening to that actually earlier on the we were sitting this morning, and definitely brings me back to like late '90s ska punk. Like it's
Yeah, and that's a good example
really
too of
cool.
kind of the writing process. Connie wrote that song in its entirety and brought it in, and we played through it a handful of times before it ever had lyrics, I think. But then whenever it got lyrics, I think it was after it got lyrics, that's when it turned into a ska song. And I was like, what if we did this kind of a little riff during the verse? And from there it was like, well, we might as well add horns.
Yeah, just jokingly in passing, and then like
Yeah.
the opportunity presented itself, and the guys were down to come in and work
Do
it
it.
out real quick. So
And so we're like, yeah, let's actually add horns. And
But it's
it
a
turned out
lot
really well.
different than when it started, for sure.
Yeah, it's very different.
Completely different song.
Yeah, we saved all those old demos. One day we'll be famous, and we'll,
And you can release those.
We can release the old demos, and
still no one will buy them.
still no one will
they're
ever
not
want to
very
listen
good.
to them. Yeah,
So you guys said that you started playing initially back in 2016, and then you started playing shows back in October.
Yeah, of October 17th.
Yeah. So were you guys just like jamming out, building up songs throughout that period?
Yeah.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much.
I mean
Like,
we kind of immediately got together as soon as we started the band. We had no songs, and we just played 2 or 3 covers. We were just like, let's do these 3 cover songs.
Did we even ever actually
We never
play them?
performed.
Well,
one
no,
ever.
because we were like, all right, let's learn these 2 songs, and then
It was like
And
a
you're like,
Petty-
I forgot to learn it.
oh
When
yeah, I
we-
was supposed to do
when we
that.
got to
It was like a Tom Petty song and something else. And we are like, let's just do covers, and it'll at least give us some time to jam. And
We played 0 covers.
yeah, we've never played a cover live. But then we were like, all right, well, let's start writing. And it's like as soon as that dam broke, we just prolifically produced songs for a couple months. And we were like, well, we have enough songs. Like, let's just arrange these, and we don't have to worry about the covers. And so yeah, we had I think an 11-song demo album recorded within just a handful of months after we first got together, and then started considering actually recording the EP and starting to play out and stuff.
So when did you guys start working on the EP?
Well, we had some of those songs, like when we first got together as a group, I think Dave and I both had like a backlog of stuff that we hadn't done with other groups we were in. And so we came in, sharing each other, those demos with each other and just playing them all together, practicing, trying to work them out. And then, I don't know, I guess some point over that summer, we decided that would be the plan going forward, because we were like, all right, well, we've got, we'll have Thanksgiving break and we'll have Christmas break, so we can, try to peg Greg down and,
Greg.
yeah, get it done. Because sometimes he'll be like, well, I'm going to Europe and I won't be back for like 6 months. And we're like, okay. So
Great, we don't get anything done.
so
for
we
6
like,
months.
yeah, we got a hold of him before November, and we're like, all right, this is kind of what we're thinking. You think we can get this, most of this done these next few days? So we started in November, and then finished up, I think the most of it in December, and then from them it was just sending mixes back and forth. And
Yeah, it was nice. We expedited it just by recording our own guitars, and then we were able to go right into the studio and start drums day one.
Oh, nice.
And Shank's
finished
such a
day one.
superstar that he finished on day one. So
Shit, it takes our drummer like 6 days for one song.
yeah,
It's just a constant battle between him and our producer.
yeah,
Like they just argue. I have videos.
yeah. I mean, Greg definitely, he'll make you redo it a lot. But I don't know. I think he was pretty impressed with Shank.
I had to
Until-
make myself redo it. He's like, I thought it sounded fine. I'm like, no, I fucked up right there. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually ran into the same problem after Atlas did, and because our producer was stage, he ran the stage sound for Pop Evil, and so he was always out on tour with them. So last November, we started studio demoing a single, and it's still not done because he's been out on the road for like
Yeah.
months at a time. So whenever he's back, he's got like 6 days, then he's back out. So we'll get in the studio maybe for an evening to get a little bit done. So it's just been a constant back and forth. And since then, what makes it really hard is that the song has evolved so much that we're like, okay, we're going to change this
Yeah.
and then change that. And it sucks.
Yeah.
Really.
Recording needs to take place quickly enough such that you can't accidentally come up with something better to do during the song.
Yeah. But sometimes taking your time though can
Oh, yeah.
really help a song along and evolve. You know, you could hear new things and make it better.
That's
But
why I
sometimes-
think it's good to play a song out for a while before you
Oh,
record
I
it.
agree. Yeah.
That gives you a lot of that workshop time too, and you know, because there's been plenty of changes I've made to a bunch of the songs we haven't recorded yet, and there's been changes I've made, you know, in the vocal melodies and things to some of the songs we've already got on the EP, and it's like, well, it would have been nice to have had that before, but it's in stone now.
Yeah.
But it is different now whenever I sing it live.
So when did you guys start playing music? We'll go around the table. So Dave, when did you start playing guitar, or whatever instrument you started on?
Yeah, I started on guitar. I think it was like 5th grade or something, and just I remember watching Andy Griffith play guitar, and I was like, "Well, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I need to do that." Like
Most
him.
people are like,
I feel like
"What-
we're
what's
not
a-"
going to get that answer ever.
Yeah,
again.
most
Yeah.
people are
Well,
like, oh, you know, Slash or
you're
you know,
welcome.
somebody like that, and you're like Andy Griffith.
I was literally in like,
How old are you?
yeah, I think it was like, it was probably like 3rd grade or something that I was like starting to get interested in.
Was Andy
playing.
Griffith on TV at the time? Like, like just coming out?
He was, yeah, I guess so. So my parents would be watching it or something. I don't think I was, although I am definitely a fan of the Andy Griffith Show. But you know, my parents would be watching it or something, and I'm just seeing this guy on TV playing guitar, and I'm like, well, that'd be really cool. I should learn to do that.
And what was your first guitar?
First one was a Harmony acoustic that belonged to my mom, and probably cost like $85. And I played that thing.
Back a long time ago.
Right.
when you got it. It's
That's
probably worth
roughly $750,000 in today's. I'm 2 or 3 or 300 years old. But yeah, it was a Harmony acoustic that I still actually have to this day, although it's not playable. It's in a display case. It's like my dad built a glass top display case. It's kind of like a coffin almost.
Yeah.
And the guitar sits in there.
Cool.
It's pretty neat.
So Jonathan, when did you start playing drums, or did you start on the drums?
I started on my chest, playing rhythms on my chest. What was it, Josh? 2nd grade or
Yeah, I
3rd
used to
grade?
get in trouble all the time.
Got in
Like,
trouble a lot for
You like were beating the shit out of a water fountain, just playing drums back
yeah,
there.
There was 2 classrooms that shared a water fountain and bathroom, and I would just go back there, get a drink, and just be like, just doing whatever. And I think I had a parent-teacher conference over that.
Like, this kid literally will not stop beating the
doing
shit
this.
out of everything around us.
So is that what made your parents get you a kit, or did you just?
I think eventually I just naturally gravitated toward it because, I mean, that's what I was doing on my chest. So I saved up. I think my dad said if I saved up half of the money for a drum set, he would supply the other half. So I got a CB 700, like, blue drum kit, the first drum kit I got. I think it was like $300. It came with a bunch of stuff, but that's the first thing I got. And then I joined a middle school band with this guy because you were just like, join band, and I was like, okay. And then I ended up playing in that middle school band, high school band, college band, and drum corps and indoor drum lines. So started on my chest.
So Josh, I know a lot of people don't really consider bass a real instrument.
That's right.
So when did
What
you?
real instrument
what-
did you first start playing?
Well,
Have you ever done anything with your life that's worth noting here on the podcast?
not really. I mean, I woke up today. It's
Yeah.
got to count for something. But I don't know. I remember when I was a lot younger, like 5 or 6, I'd always wanted to play guitar, and I had like a toy guitar I would play, and I'm sure there's embarrassing home video footage of that somewhere.
find it.
And then I remember my mom made me start taking piano lessons because she said I needed to learn to play that before I play guitar. But that didn't really do any good because I can't play any piano now. That was like in 3rd grade. And then I think for my birthday, when I turned 10, I got my first guitar. And then it's been downhill from there. I don't think I...
He threw it all away and said, 4
Yeah.
strings is enough, guys.
6 is way too many. But yeah, so I played, guitar, and I'd actually play with Jonathan here just after school and on weekends. And then I think I was in 7th grade. For some reason, I saw a bass in a store and started playing it, and got that as a birthday gift. And then didn't really. I would just mess around with it and play along to like CDs or whatever. And then once I got into high school, they needed a bass player for the show choir, and I was like, I guess I'll do that. And then I think that's where I learned a lot about bass lines and actually playing the bass as an instrument aside from just hitting the root note constantly.
And try to start playing like these guys.
Yeah, better, talented
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I was like a weird progression for me. I started out on the drums, and I wasn't that great. Then I moved to bass because there's really less movement. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And then I moved to guitar, and I probably should have stuck with bass because But yeah, Jed plays violin actually.
Oh, that's really cool.
So
Yeah.
he doesn't
Not-
look like musically inclined person, but
Well, that's like
Yeah, he looks like he's got his life together and stuff like that.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
violin's like kind of a weird instrument though, because the man, all the musical knowledge is like out of me at this point in my life. But the key, is that what I'm looking for? The key that it's in, maybe? I don't know. The tuning
tuning.
of a violin
Yeah.
like doesn't really transfer that well to any other kind of music. So like you can't really just pick up sheet music from like something else and then just play it on a violin. You have to go through note by note and figure out like, okay, what is this?
Transpose the
Yeah,
whole thing.
it's very
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
Do you also play fiddle?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Play
That-
skin flute.
That could start an argument. There's really no like distinction between fiddle and violin.
Well, I mean, like the style of music.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's always what I liked more. But I always found playing that was a lot harder. I always thought playing classical was a lot easier because a lot of fiddle music is kind of not really inflection, but it's more the way that you're playing it than what you're playing it. So it's not really something that you can just put on a sheet and see. You kind of have to hear it, try it, figure it out, do it.
Yeah, that's what I kind of started out playing. It's surprising considering Andy Griffith was my primary influence. But it was like bluegrass.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
liked playing bluegrass, and you build up a lot of speed that way and a lot of intricacy and right hand picking ability. And but then I was like, oh, rock and roll's a thing.
and don't you also play the banjo poorly?
Very badly, yeah.
Poorly.
I've tried that. I can't get. I'm not a good finger picker anyway. It's probably why I don't have a girlfriend. But I could never get it down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not that good. I mean, I can do some decent finger picking on a guitar, but I just never pick up a banjo very often. But I am probably the best, worst banjo player you've ever heard. So if you ever needed someone to just be really bad at banjo, just hit me up.
Yeah.
So I have a challenge. I want you guys to describe your style of music using only famous actors.
Famous actors.
That's a good one. I like that.
Okay, let's see.
You can't use Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
You can use more than one. It can be like a conglomeration of actors.
All right, let's see.
Challenge.
Yeah, this is definitely a challenge. All right, so we got to get
who
Danny
was
DeVito
big?
in there.
Who
We need
was-
the ugliest
Danny
person we could
DeVito.
possibly get. So it's like Danny DeVito.
Who was big in the 90s?
Not Danny DeVito.
God.
He's never been.
Yeah,
big.
he's never been.
Who was the kid from Home Improvement that voiced Simba?
Oh, JTT.
John Taylor
Yeah.
Thomas.
JTT.
It would be like a homeless version of him, maybe. Like just soaked in cheap beer, just like wearing Doc Martens or something,
There you go.
So like Danny
And-
DeVito
checkered
meets
shirt or something.
JTT.
Yeah.
There we go.
Wow. That is a graphic image in
I
my
mean,
head.
if somebody just described a band like that to me and I've never met them, I would check them out.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta take a listen.
Absolutely.
You gotta
For
take
sure.
a listen. Yeah.
Now, is it Danny DeVito like
purely for his
The
ugliness.
Penguin from
90s or
yeah.
like
Yeah, the
Danny
Batman.
DeVito's like Rumham
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's the same DeVito. He's just
off his leash?
Yeah, he's definitely off his leash on Always Sunny, but Rumham. I think the early '90s one,
Early 90s DeVito
You
and
know,
JTT.
and yeah, I mean, kind of from the same era as the JTT thing. What I mean, he was Penguin around that time, right? Late '80s, early '90s, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I
was,
think so.
he looked just like a penguin. As much as you could possibly be I hope he's not listening. If you're listening, you're not. You're great. Yeah. But if you are, you're gross. We all know that.
We just got one less subscriber.
He's like, I'm out.
He's actually funding this whole thing. So thanks. Guys. Like,
Oh, damn
We're done.
This episode's never gonna meet the air.
Pack it up.
So yeah, he has to approve everything before we release it. I'll just cut it out and then send it to him. And then whenever he's like, "Cool, it's good," then I'll put it back in.
I guarantee you, if we sent him an episode to listen to, he would probably end up listening to it.
We should try that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be this one.
Okay.
It'll be this one for sure.
I hope he doesn't hate me. I love Danny DeVito.
Well, you saw like that pretty recently, actually. He some girl like posted a picture of her going to prom with a cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
And so he got a cardboard cutout of her and went to like the Emmys or something like that.
Oh, that's
it was like this
awesome.
high school girl that he had a cardboard cutout of
Yeah.
walking around some award
It's funny
show.
because out of context, that's horrifying.
Oh yeah. You're just
But
like,
in
what is
context,
happening?
that's like the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
That would
kinda,
be real
pulled
creepy.
over. Like, what are you
It's
doing
like,
with
oh,
this?
this is just a cardboard cutout of some high school girl.
Yeah.
No big
Oh,
deal. I'm just creepy Danny DeVito.
Jesus Christ. I remember that. I remember seeing
Podcast
about
going
that,
off
yeah.
the rails.
So,
It's okay. There
that's
are
what
no
it's
rails.
about. Yeah. There's no rails.
There's no
literally-
rails in here.
When we sit down, well, we know we don't sit down.
It's like getting on
Seriously.
Wikipedia.
Just going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a Wikipedia page? Have you ever looked?
We should make
I don't
one.
think so.
We would do a
They would-
great
They would
job
just
of it.
delete it immediately. They'd be
Yeah.
like, "Who? Why is this on
Because
here?"
there's so much profanity in this.
Absolutely not.
About the Wikipedia page, though, my old band, Darling Waste, whenever, was it 2008, 2009, I joined them. Oh yeah. We all had our display names, Facebook, all that stuff as like, I was Daniel Waste and he was Lance Waste and, all that. Well, there was a Wikipedia page because they, back whenever they first started, had songs on YouTube, or not YouTube. Everybody's got songs on YouTube. MTV, like during the Real World and stuff. So they had like gained some traction, then kind of fell off for a little bit. And somebody got on the Wikipedia
That's whenever
page.
they picked you up.
Yeah, they did after that, way after that. And that's whenever it started to go way downhill. But they actually, somebody got on the Wikipedia page for him and edited it to where I was his brother because we had the same last name. And they legit thought his name was Waste and thought my name was Waste and thought that it was weird that my license said Bonner. But, people are fucking stupid.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the whole Wikipedia page thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just a random story
Give him a-
from
give him-
Daniel.
Yeah.
Josh, didn't
We
one of
love
our
it.
friends edit Mr. T's Wikipedia page to say that he had a tattoo of Fozzie the Bear?
It stayed up there for a long time because they couldn't confirm or deny that. So there's like, I guess it's possible. I'll just leave it up there.
I've seen stories of people that will go, they're like, they've got tickets to a concert and they'll actually put their name in that they're a relative of that band, somebody of that band, and they'll actually get access by like, oh, I'm his brother. And the security guys, they're awful security guys. They're like, they'll show them the Wikipedia page and they'll be like, oh, okay, cool, go ahead. And they end up
Genius.
being like really good friends with the bands now. Like, it's shit, I should do that
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
Because
Maybe we'll try that next time, Dave. We went to that Punk and Drublick thing
Show
in
in
Columbus.
Ohio. Yeah.
And we went with another friend and we just walked, like, get something to eat. And then Dave sent us a message. He's like, "Hey, I'm backstage." And we're like, "How did you get back there?" He's like, "I just walked back here. It's cool. Just come on back."
Didn't you say you were like a sound tech or something?
So, well, we were out in like the behind the pit. So, we were 60 or 80 feet from the stage. I think Boss Tones were on or something. But I was like, what did I say? Oh, okay. I said, when Rancid is on, I'm going to be on that stage. And you said, no fucking way. I was like, when they go on, I'm going to be up on that stage. And, so I just immediately, from that point, they're not going to be on until like later tonight, but I just immediately broke structure and walked away. And it wasn't 10 minutes later that I texted him. I was like, hey, look up on the stage, like stage right.
And he's standing next to Joe Escalante from the Vandals, who's like playing
And I
the
have
music
pictures.
in between.
Yeah. And
We're
I
like,
have
"How did
pictures
you
of all
get
these
there?
people.
That's not fair." And he was like, "Yeah, just walk back here." And there's just like some kid playing on his phone, and I like pick up my phone, act like I'm talking to somebody.
Yeah, I just
and
went back
walk
there and
past
acted
him.
like I was doing something, talking on the phone, and somebody finally asked me who I was and who I was here with, and I was like, I'm a sound guy. I'm here to. I have to grab a cord and take it over to the. He's like, oh, okay, you just get what you got to get, and then I just did this and started watching again. Yeah, it's like I'm not going to pick up a chord.
Yeah, that's too funny.
We got to see like Sick of It All, and then the Bosstones right after them, and then when Rancid was coming on, they cleared everybody off the stage.
But I got back
Barricaded
on
it.
because I had to climb up the back of the stage behind that moving truck or whatever. But I did get back on the stage with Rancid there. But yeah, they were weird about it. Rancid, I guess, has something in their contract that doesn't allow people to just.
I'm sure
hang
with
out on
them
stage.
being, as big as they are,
Yeah.
that they've had problems with fans. Going,
Probably. Yeah.
So that's
Everyone else
That
was
was a big
cool
part.
with it. They didn't let other bands on there. Like,
oh really?
yeah, because the whole time we were backstage, like all the other bands that had been playing previously were just hanging out, watching the bands from the stage. So I have a bunch of pictures with, a bunch of the different people in the bands. And even whenever Rancid went on, they were like, no one is on stage.
Yeah, they cleared everybody off, and then like set up barricades. And if you had an all access pass, I guess they were just making sure it was an actual one and really stringent about it.
Yeah, they were pretty serious about it.
So you guys commented on the picture that we posted to promote that we were recording you today about somebody being really punny.
Oh, yeah, this guy right here.
Jonathan.
That's right.
I haven't heard any puns yet.
That's right.
And honestly, Jed, I'm surprised I haven't
Spotlight's
heard
on
any
you.
puns from you yet.
I haven't had a good opportunity for any.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Well,
It's like,
I think we should do like a pun off between Jed and Jonathan.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Just
Okay.
riff them back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do punny jokes count?
Punny jokes.
Yeah.
And anything that, involves a pun.
Okay.
that might be tough.
All right.
I mean, you can use your phone. You can use your phone.
They
It's
just
not going
come
to be
organically usually.
can't-
Yeah, I come
force it.
organically.
Yeah.
Gross.
Hey,
You.
California cows.
Yeah.
Happy cows.
Happy cows.
Make happy milk.
I got you.
Just thought you should know that.
I got you.
You're welcome.
I shouldn't have put you on the spot like this.
No. Oh, I mean, I'm ready to go.
You ready?
I don't.
I can't be asked to do that
Yeah.
right now.
I mean,
And I'll gladly drop a couple. Have you heard about the new anti-gravity book? So good, I can't put it down.
Oh, so dad jokes. So that-
yeah. I mean, it could be. Yeah.
all right. What do you call someone with 6 eyes, 2 mouths, and 4 ears?
Oh man, I don't know. Tell me.
Ugly.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Why can't dinosaurs clap?
Why?
Because they're dead.
Got you there.
Yep.
Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon?
I didn't.
The food is good, but there's just no atmosphere.
Yes.
That's a good one.
It's the best episode ever. Oh man, I wonder if I can think of another one. Did you hear about the bakery that burned down? Business is toast.
Did you hear about the fire at the circus?
It was intense.
It was. It was.
Yes. Why'd the bicycle fall over?
Why?
Because it was too tired.
What do you call a Mexican person with a rubber toe?
I don't know what.
Roberto.
God.
I think we've missed the
So
boat
simple.
on puns, but I'm glad we
Yeah.
went into dad joke
Yeah, dad jokes
territory.
is fine.
It works.
Oh man.
What do you call an elephant that doesn't matter?
Tell me.
Irrelevant.
Fuck.
God. I'm stumped. I can't think of any more.
These shouldn't even be that funny. But they're really
they're
funny. At
great.
least sitting here in this
Yeah.
setting is makes them really funny. Everyone listening will be like,
They're like, God, this is terrible.
They're
I hope
just
this is
skip right
over
through
soon.
Please
this part.
stop. Please
This is
stop.
over soon. But if they were sitting here, they would get it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're not.
Yeah, losers.
So we've already established that you guys have worked on a couple of, you said an EP and then a demo album. How would somebody listen to those?
With their ears.
Everywhere. Yeah. Dude,
not off the
you
jokes yet.
opened that can of worms, and
Yeah.
now it's just going to keep going.
Yeah, it'll never stop.
Bandcamp has both of those recordings, and then the EP is out on like iTunes, Spotify, Tidal. I don't even know how many different Pandora.
It's on Amazon now too, right?
Yeah.
You can buy the album on Amazon, but you cannot listen to it on Amazon Premium, unlimited, Amazon Unlimited Music.
So I don't know how you get into that game.
I don't know.
DistroKid didn't give us that kind
I
of
guess not.
Amazon hit us up.
So you guys, it's "Crying Over Spilled Coffee" by Jay Parade, and it's on iTunes. You guys on Spotify, all that too. Spotify, Bandcamp, and Facebook. What's your guys' Facebook?
Is it just Jay Parade?
Yeah, Jay Parade.
Jay Parade.
Just Jay Parade.
Yeah. Yeah, we worked
So you
really
just type
hard
in
to
Jay
have.
Parade, and then it just takes you to Facebook. Jay
Yeah,
Parade. Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Yeah, we tried really hard to not get any sort of ambiguous name that would have to
Yeah,
be.
I think that's what it is for Twitter, just Jay Parade. Instagram is Jay Parade Band
Yeah.
because there's someone else
Who
out
got
there.
it? I don't know
with
who
just
got
Jay
it, but they
Parade.
got it.
Well, it's like Twitter. We try to do. I mean, obviously, all of our handles are at Wasted Local Talent.
Right.
And Twitter, it's just too long. So I was toying around with the ideas. Like, do I call it like Wasted Talent, Wasted Local, like just
WLT.
local
Call it
talent?
local talent.
It's just Wasted Local for
At
now.
local talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Could be anywhere. Nobody knows. We're local talent.
we are. I wouldn't really call us talented.
I'm very talented.
Not in podcasting.
You might have chosen the wrong direction in life.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I figured that out a long time ago. I just can't turn around.
Yeah.
Got to make a point. If I'm disappointing my parents, I'm not going to prove them right.
Yeah,
So I'm going to keep
exactly.
doing it.
I remember the first time that I saw you play live was at that house party in Morgantown.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I
And I
was
was-
so drunk.
I was standing like off to the side while you were playing, and he would Daniel would look over at me and kind of nod at me, give me that, hey, that, trying to get my attention. And while they were playing, the entire time that they were playing, I would just come up and just put beer in his mouth, and then go back to the crowd.
Did I fall over into the drum set?
You
that
did,
night?
yeah.
I
You
was
did
that
fall
drunk.
into the drum
Well,
set.
we went to this house show, and there was a fuckload of bands on that show. It was up in Morgantown, and we were supposed to play at 7 or 8 o'clock. And they're like, well, there's a band from out of town playing. They've got to get on the road. Can you switch spots with them? We're like, yeah, fine. They're like, oh, they're playing at 1. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
So we're like, what do we do for this many hours? So we just drank.
That was
And
the
drank,
night that
and drank.
I don't
and
remember
drank.
if it was before or after you guys played, but Jess had to talk Spencer down off the roof.
Oh yeah, he climbed on the roof.
Yeah,
our old
'cause
singer.
It was
You-
3 stories off the ground, and she was like, "You are going to fall." And he's
Yeah.
like, "I'm good. I've got this. I've got this." And she's like, "No, you're gonna get down right now."
So have you known Spencer for a lot longer then?
I met Spencer back whenever we had the cafe.
Okay.
He had a band based out of Canaan, Snowshoe or not.
Okay.
Snowshoe?
Because he was from
Canaan
New
or
York,
Snowshoe?
right?
No, he's
he?
from Weston,
Okay.
and he.
Was he commuting or something, or there was something there?
Yeah, well, what happened? He was in a band called the Skipjacks, and they were basically a punk cover band. They just covered any song and just make it punk. It was pretty cool. But their drummer was from New Zealand, and his visa ran out, so he had to go back. So that band just kind of fell apart. And I kind of had a connection with him whenever he first started coming around the cafe. Thought he was a cool dude. And once that fell apart, I was like, I've been thinking about starting a band. So we started writing, and we started throughout 2015, during the last stretch of the cafe, and we started recording that fall before the cafe closed.
Yeah.
And it's literally the day that he finished vocals, the day we left the studio and drove him to Pittsburgh to go to New York. And that's whenever we moved to New York. So from the time that we finished our EP, our first EP, and we hadn't even played a show yet. We got the EP done. We wanted to release it before we actually played a show. The first show was on New Year's. And this was in, I think, early November. And he moved to New York. So he was
Yeah.
commuting back and forth for all the shows,
Yeah.
which was cool at first. But then it just,
Yeah.
having money to come
tough.
down and any money that we would make.
Yeah,
as
because
a
I was
band.
at the first show. I remember.
Yeah.
We played at the first show, and I remember seeing your all's first show, and I think I was blown away at how tight you guys actually were for a
Yeah.
very first show. And
Yeah, I mean, we working with the producer that we work with, Eric Kirkland. He's fucking 23, 24. The kid knows more about music than most people that I know that are older than me. But whenever we went in to record, he also produced it, and he wasn't just like, hey, we're just going to record it how it is. He's like, okay, change this and that. And then we'd, during practicing after that, we would obviously change it, and it definitely helped become tighter as a band. But yeah, that first show, who was supposed to play that show? So I Set My Friends on Fire.
Yeah,
And
I said
they're-
I was supposed to be there, and it was like, I remember had to have been a winter show, right?
Yeah. I
Oh,
think
it was
the-
New Year's. Yeah.
Yeah, and
they
so
got stuck
they
in
got
the airport.
snowed in or something somewhere.
Yeah, I know their singer had messaged me because I don't remember who contacted me originally to book them, but they had contacted me and saying that one of the members had gotten stuck in an airport because the weather was just too bad. And the singer actually just messaged me directly. He was like, "Hey man, I'm really sorry, I'm stuck in the airport." So it wasn't like they just dipped out on the show, which a lot of people thought, and that's how we promoted it. We used that to try to pull more people in. You know,
Right.
people know I Set My Friends on Fire. They're
Right.
still pulling in decent crowds everywhere, and people were pumped, and a lot of people got pissed and left. It's like, it's weather, man.
Yeah, you
like
can't fix it. Yeah.
It's like you can't. I'm sure there's been times where you couldn't go to work because the fucking snow was too bad. So, but yeah, so
What?
awkward silence.
Awkward
Oh, I
Sorry.
saw you staring at the computer, and I
No, I'm
thought
just
you were
looking
like
at it.
looking at something.
No, I'm just
I'm
kind
just going to use the bathroom. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
all right, cool.
Take the mic in there with you.
take
Let's
it.
see what
Just-
kind
Yeah.
Oh God, no! Please don't.
Wireless, it's going to be awesome.
We should do that. We should mount a microphone in the bathroom right above the toilet. So if somebody's got to go, we
Mic
can
'em
just-
up.
Yeah, yeah.
Be like a mic'd up NFL football.
That's
like,
how you get the
compilation.
viewers. You at least get all the weirdos that are into poop sounds.
Cool. Dave's gone. So you guys thinking about kicking him out? Because he's kind of
Yeah,
a dick.
fuck that guy.
Right after this.
See, we just got to use him because his garage is our practice space,
Gotcha. Yeah.
and he buys a lot of the equipment. So we're just gonna steal it sooner or later.
There you go. So when did Dead for Decades just stop?
Well, we'd had like just drama every once in a while. Somebody would get pissed off at somebody else, and then it kind of blew up after a show one time, and then we were like, "Well, we're gonna finish this EP," and then we'll decide to do what from there. And I think Dave and I, and then Bill, were kind of like, "Well, let's just see what happens." Not really put any definitive statement out there. And then a couple other guys in the band were like, "Yeah, we'll just because we tried to get back together and try to work it out, but there wasn't really anything going like songwriting wise, and there was just it seemed like it had kind of run its course."
All right, he's back. He's back.
All right, we got to stop talking shit about Dave. But yeah, that was because we did that EP. That would have been
Oh, I'm gonna cut. We're just talking about Dead for Decades right now.
'Cause we-
so I'll cut all this out.
because we were on a hiatus because Bill had to do. He's getting ready to take over the family business, so he had to take all these exams. He had to study for. So that's when us three initially got together.
So you guys pretty much started whenever Dead for Decades was still on the outs, but you weren't completely finished.
Yeah, Decades wasn't completely over, and then we were going to. Me and Connie had been talking or conspiring or something to, hey, we should start our own thing, like a 3-piece punk thing or something.
Doesn't it always
get Shank
feel
involved.
like you're like
cheating.
yeah, you're like cheating, like you're doing something really, really bad whenever you talk to a band member that you're in a band with about doing other things. It's like, man, you kind
Yeah.
of feel like dirty.
So I mean, and
does for
the
me
way
anyway.
the way we handled it was there was no quitting DFD. Like if Dead for Decades was going to go play something, we were going to play it. If
Yeah.
they were still writing, we didn't do any writing for Dead for Decades. We didn't do like any of the front end creative work.
Who was doing all that?
So it was mostly Nick. Nick just kind of refused to allow other people that creative space.
Been in bands like that.
Yeah, so I mean, I was responsible for writing guitar leads and stuff like that, and everyone wrote their own stuff.
Yeah.
It's just he wanted to be the one writing the melodies and stuff. So if I was writing a song in my house, it wasn't going to get picked up.
Yeah.
like no matter what. So yeah, if you were in that band, you just you took the song that they already wrote and you arranged your part to it.
See, I think that's like a really dick thing to do, but that's literally the same thing I do with my band.
Yeah.
Except for the lyrics and the melody. Like I'll write some melodies, but I'm listening to you. I'm like, man, that guy sounds like an asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking about it. I'm like,
I was actually going to point that
yeah,
out.
I do the same thing.
I mean, I think
At some level, it's got to be that though. Like when we'll let. I mean, we have a lot of creative input with each other's songs, but we'll put a rough demo out and put it on Google Drive so everybody can hear it, and then it kind of stays pretty close to that original idea. But I mean,
yeah, I mean that's what it's supposed to be. Like, so I get to be like you whenever I write my song. and but these two still write their own parts.
Yeah.
I wrote one of your lead parts one time.
Yeah, and he's recommended really good sounding lead ideas and things, and we'll use that. And I think I added 2 lines to Jimmy or something, and I felt like the chorus needed to be longer or something, and I mean, there's little things that end up happening, but for the most part, you get to be in control of your song that you wrote.
Yeah.
But that allows everyone that creative outlet.
Yeah.
Instead of saying that, and as a result, we have a really interesting mix of, kind of genre bending, not necessarily each song within itself, but the band's genre is kind of nebulous because of that. Because you'll hear a song like Jimmy, and then you'll hear a song like a straight up pop punk song like Sirens or something, and then you'll hear "Fuck People, Let's Get Paid" or something, which you guys probably haven't heard that one, but and it's just a straight up, really fast
Minor
50
Threat
second,
song.
50-second punk song, and it's whatever you wanted for that particular song, but there's no kind of turning a song down.
Yeah.
We play it and we make it work, and I think everybody seems to like that idea so far, because everyone's got their own favorite song and they're all different. But if we all wrote the same type of song for everything, then we only would have appealed to that one guy instead of
A lot of them are 180 beats per minute, though.
Yeah.
As it turns out.
Yeah. Whenever I write, like I got in this habit of writing everything. I would start everything at 120 beats a minute in the key of D, which is easy for me, and I would do all of that way. Then I would just, at the end of it, I would transpose the song and then speed it up, slow it down, whatever it needed to be. Typically speed it up. But yeah, that's how I write everything pretty much.
Is that right?
Yeah. And I've got, Jesus Christ, I've got like a 500 gig external hard drive that like is half full of song demos.
Songs, yeah.
And probably never see the light of day. Maybe one day if I have an actual studio and could actually learn to play instruments. Band. And I could actually, get those done. But yeah, and I just write whatever comes out. It could be like I did some fucking weird dance EDM style stuff before. I've written country songs that nobody will ever hear. Style songs.
I would love to hear that.
I don't write lyrics though, so
Yeah.
and that's what my biggest problem is that like I'll write a song and bring it to the band, and how I structure it, it's more like a soundtrack than a song. So it's hard for our singer Zach to actually write lyrics to it, because there's not really like in a lot of them a verse chorus.
Right.
So he just basically has to tell a story and sing it, so it's kind of tough. And I'm trying to get out of that, but that's just not how I write.
But even forcing something like that, forcing your singer to deal with that, is maybe creating something that otherwise wouldn't be possible to create. Like there's different approaches to these things that will cause things to come out, and I think that's an interesting part, or it's an interesting result of the particular process you subscribe to.
Yeah.
Which I think is, it's how any given band does it, and what they end up producing because of it is going to be unique to that process. And
Yeah, my whole idea behind writing a song isn't so much to, like, I'm really big on songs that evoke emotion. Like, I love all sorts of different styles of music, but the ones that I really, really enjoy are just a song that can literally make me feel how that person's feeling. Not so much from the lyrics, it's from the music, and that's what I try to do. It's like however I feel at the time. So, like, most of my songs come out of really hard times or really happy times.
Yeah, it's like, I know what a photograph looks like.
Yeah.
look at it though.
So much.
Look at it.
I can relate to that.
Yeah. But
Emotionally.
That's how I write, the songs. And
Look at this graph.
yeah.
I love that meme.
But that's how I do it. And, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But, like, I'll let people listen to a demo that I write and be like, how does that make you feel? People that I know that have that kind of same feeling, and it's always almost exactly how I was feeling at the time. And to me, that's awesome, because I can actually do that and convey how I was feeling at that point in time and hit somebody else. So to me, I don't worry about the vocals, because to me, the music touches me more than lyrics.
Yeah.
So Dave, your biggest musical influence? band person, not Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, he kind of set the spark in motion, but I
Yeah.
certainly wouldn't call him an influence anymore. I don't know. The band that I've grown up and listened to the most was probably like Green Day, and I think that still comes out a lot in the songs that I write. So it's hard for me to distance myself from them as much as I really don't listen to their new stuff. New stuff as in the last 4 or 5 years. Like I'm just really not into anything they've been doing anymore. But all their older stuff, I love the way that they wrote. You know, and they're really poppy kind of a sound, even since, you know, before Dookie.
Yeah.
You know, they had a very poppy sound. I've always liked pop music and pop punk in general. So I would say them, but, you know, my more recent influence, probably favorite band of all time is probably like Alkaline Trio.
love Alkaline Trio.
Oh, I mean, the way they write, the feeling of all their songs, like the general sense of Alkaline Trio, just really sets well with me. And so, yeah, I try to use them for inspiration.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to think of the next melody or something, I'll listen to a bunch of their songs and do my best not to rip something off, but at the same time think, you know, stand on the shoulder of giants sort of thing, you know?
Yeah. That's happened to me a lot, though. Like, I've actually written songs, and I'm like, man, I really like that. We write a part, and I'm like, that's really good. Then I'll start, like, forming a song around it.
Crap, I just wrote an Alkaline
like,
Trio song.
Yeah. And then, like, you know, 3 days later, I'm driving in my car, and I'm listening to a song. I'm like, fuck. Like,
My song's on the radio.
yeah, what the hell? How'd that happen? So, okay, Jonathan, who's your biggest musical influence?
Probably 311. Chad Sexton, the drummer.
Okay. I don't 311.
You have heard 311.
Probably.
I can guarantee you that you have heard 311. I'll play it later.
Okay.
You just don't know that you've
You've
heard
definitely heard their songs.
it. Yeah, you have
no
for
one
sure
has made it
heard
to your
that.
age without knowing their songs. Just you might not have ended up being in the ecosystem enough to know what you were
I
hearing.
was a sheltered child.
Yeah. I'm not really big enough into them to know that I'm listening to them at any given time either. But
I just really dug. He always used a really tight snare that just like cracked whenever he would hit it, and I really liked that. And he, the drummer from them or from 311, marched in drum corps as well, and you can kind of hear that, and especially some of their earlier stuff. And I think that's why he kept his snare so tight, so he could be more articulate and do like rolls and stuff precisely and crisply.
Crisp. Josh?
Probably, I mean, I'd have to say Rancid. Like, as soon as I started getting into this style of music, that was like one of the first bands that I heard, and I was like, all right, this is my thing now. And then,
Now I do this.
yeah, and especially once I started playing bass, like Matt Freeman, especially, just try to copy what he does. Like Jimmy, the bass line of that is basically a Matt Freeman bass line. So,
Matt Freeman
Start
is
singing like
really
him.
good.
yeah.
Really, really, really good.
oh yeah,
Very quick.
So yeah, like that whole, I mean, that '90s like Epitaph, Fat Records kind of catalog was kind of like what I got into around middle school. Now they say like that's after you hit like 20, you don't listen to any new music, which I listen to I think a lot of new stuff all the time, but that was like what you always kind of go back to, what's comfortable, like what's always coming up on Spotify or
yeah.
Pandora.
Connie's our guy in the band is just into super esoteric. He'll put something. He'll post something to the group chat every now and then. It's like, hey, you might like listen to this, and I'm like, where did you dig this up?
I mean, there's plenty of times
what
I've
even is
been
this?
up like 3:30 in the morning, just like, oh, this guy was in that band was in this guy, and
That
just
band
going.
was in this guy.
That man was in this guy.
I mean, that's how far down I go into that.
Yeah,
Pretty serious.
He's got one of those boards on his wall where it's just pictures
Yeah,
and
like I'm
strings.
strings
going back.
trying to track down a serial killer or something.
He's like, this guy was in that band.
And that band was in this guy.
Yeah,
And these bands were in that person.
I'm excited for that later.
yeah.
I have a question also. Who would win in a fight? Actually, no. Who would win in a sumo match between an angry kangaroo and Mel Gibson back on booze?
How big of a kangaroo?
Like, well,
Yeah,
Mel,
like
Are we talking a
full-size
Joey
guy?
or like
Yeah,
a-
those things get like
Like a
6,
normal
7
size,
foot.
like a normal size kangaroo
Like
that you
Mel-
would
Mel
see at
Gib-
like the zoo. Not one of those like yoked out
Yeah, because
kangaroos
those
that you
things are
see like
like-
in the outback
Yeah.
that like roll up
got
on.
street smarts and like,
Yeah.
Are we talking-
Has
are
a
you-
cousin that'll.
are you talking Mel Gibson now or Mel Gibson like back when, Braveheart years where he was like,
Back whenever he was like hardcore drinker, like
just, yeah, I got you.
I
yeah.
don't know. It's
Does
hard
the
to.
kangaroo get to wear boxing gloves, or is it just
They're just
it's
in
straight
the
up
in the Thunderdome.
no gloves?
Yeah, no gloves.
No gloves.
Yeah, no holds
Yeah,
barred.
Mel Gibson's just on a bender and runs into
Oh
the
yeah,
sky.
like a 3-day bender.
I don't
He's
think.
mad.
I don't think anything is taking out a kangaroo on a mission. Wild animal.
That's fair.
I give it
Kick
to. I
pretty
give it to
hard.
the. I give it to the wild animal.
But it's
mean,
funnier to
you've seen
imagine, Mad Max in the Thunderdome with a kangaroo.
kangaroo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has this kangaroo been in scuffles before, or is it just
Yeah.
like
Is
a-
this like a kangaroo from the streets or like from the suburbs?
No, I mean he's like a zoo kangaroo, but he's probably like the toughest of the zoo kangaroos.
So he probably came from the streets, and they were just like, "We got to keep him here now," and they've
Can't turn
been-
him back out.
Yeah, they've been
now
doing
he's
some,
serving
like,
a life sentence?
Yeah,
in the zoo.
got the program, working the steps and all that. He's just like he could turn at any moment though. He's ready.
Yeah, I think I'd
Flip
go
of
with
a
kangaroo.
switch.
That's what I'm saying. I give it to the kangaroo. This guy's got a story. We all know it, and it's
Who knows what's in
bad
that
news.
pouch?
Yeah, it's bad news for Mel. That's what I'm saying.
That's fair. All right. Mel Gibson loses. Sorry, Mel.
If you're listening, sorry.
To you
So
and
so
Danny
far
DeVito.
we've angry Danny DeVito and Mel Gibson in one episode.
You're not as gross as DeVito, but you're not as awesome as DeVito.
He is listening right now.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson called my parents once and left a voicemail.
Is that
No
a true
lie.
story?
That's a very true story.
I need to
Swear to
know
God.
why.
So, back whenever the Passion of the Christ,
Mm-hmm.
both my parents are Christian, and they did a lot of work to bring that movie to West Virginia because a lot of the movie theaters weren't going to bring it in. And through what the companies and things that they worked for, Campus Crusade for Christ and stuff like that, they were able to bring that movie in. And Mel Gibson called them, and I thought it was like a pre-recorded voicemail. But they're like, Mel Gibson called us today and left us a voicemail. I'm like, bullshit. So I listened to the voicemail. This is back, whenever you still had.
Or was it a
People-
voicemail?
There we go. We're waiting for that one. But
Yes.
but yeah, I was like, no way he called. It's probably just like a pre-recorded thing. So I remember listening to it, and he was like, hey, and he said my parents' name. It wasn't just like a mass thing. And then his dog started going crazy in the background, and he was like yelling at them on the phone. So it was pretty funny. So it was kind of cool. It's pretty
cool.
neat. So it's like great.
It's awesome.
That
It's a
guy
story.
called my house.
Yeah.
I probably got really drunk one night, and he was just like, "I'm gonna call these people.
Call these people and thank them. I'm gonna
Call him up and say,
really thank you.
If you see that kangaroo,
say
tell
really
him I'm
dirty
If you see that kangaroo,
that kangaroo, he's a pussy.
He's from, so he would encounter a kangaroo. I never.
He
thought of
probably has.
oh man, honestly, I didn't even put that together whenever I asked that
that.
question.
He might be experienced. And
Yeah, that might give him a leg up. Honestly,
that could give him that edge.
yeah, he's dealt with kangaroos
Yeah.
before, probably several.
perhaps, yeah. For all we know, that's he grew up. That's who he was beating long before
Yeah.
he ever beat.
You think he can still star
everyone
69 his
else.
number? We'll just call him up and ask him right now.
We need to get a hold of that answering machine, Daniel.
I don't think my parents have had a home phone in fucking
Yeah, is Star 69 still a thing?
20 years, maybe.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of people listening that aren't going to understand what that means.
Yeah, is Star 69 a thing? And
What
they're
is
like,
Star 69?
Well, somebody
is that
was
a dirty joke?
somebody was telling me the other day that they the old rotary phones,
Yeah.
where you had to spin it. Obviously, everybody here knows.
Yeah.
that's right. I know.
Okay. You look way younger than the rest of us.
Because you haven't seen me with my hat off.
Fair enough. Yeah. But they literally had no idea how to use it. They would just kind of push in there and just turn it a little bit, but wouldn't actually. They didn't understand that you had to turn it all the way around, and then that you had to actually pick up the phone first and then dial it. They were
Yeah.
dialing it and then picking up the phone.
That's funny.
It's
when
crazy
my,
to think that.
When my grandma first got a cell phone, she was so confused because she would hit the green button,
Yeah.
thinking that she would get a dial tone that she could start, and then she could start the dialing process.
Yeah.
And I remember her just being basically stranded or something.
she couldn't use her
She was
phone?
like, I can't figure out how to use this stupid thing. And, not long, but I think she still had I think to this day she still has a landline. So I think she, jumped on the landline and called my mom or called someone saying, somebody's going to have to explain this thing to me. I pushed this green button, no dial tone, can't get an operator,
I remember whenever I was growing up, I don't remember which one of my grandparents it was or if it worked. I'm pretty sure it worked, but they still had the wall phone that had the hand crank.
Oh shit!
Oh,
and
my
like
God.
the handpiece that you would hold up to your ear and talk into.
You talk to Sarah and have her get
Hello,
you.
operator.
Yeah.
I'm looking for 5.
And I don't,
This is 3.
I don't remember because I was so young. Like it might have just been decorative, but I think it worked. Like I feel like I remember like watching one of my grandparents take a phone call on that thing. At some
Wow.
point.
That is impressive.
I remember the first time my grandpa saw not a cell phone, but a smartphone screen on it and everything. I was over there at his house, and I was on it, and he came outside and sat next to me to smoke a cigarette, and he was like, "What is that?" And I showed it to him, and showed him like what you could do with it. He's like, the only question he had for me, the only thing he wanted to know, he's like, "Can you look at boobies on there?" My grandpa's this old pervert, like he's great. but
Asking the important questions.
I was like, yeah, and I was like, you just pull this up, hit, whatever you want, just type that in there, and I just hit boobies, and then Googled it, obviously,
Yeah.
and then there you go.
Of course you can, Grandpa.
He was like, "Can I borrow that?" And I was like, "No,
No,
no, you can't.
No, you can't.
you cannot."
You'll have
we're
me on
not
the watch
getting you
list.
one.
Nope.
We are not getting you one of these.
I thought that was pretty fucking funny.
Oh, yeah.
Old dirty grandpa. Yeah, I figured.
So,
Thanks for listening, everybody. This has been Jed.
hold on. Can you redo that? You're like, "Thanks for listening, everybody."
Thanks, everybody.
Perfect.
Better?
Smart ass.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. This has been Jed.
And I'm Daniel.
And this week, we wasted our talent with
Dave.
Jonathan.
And Josh.
From
Jay.
Braid.
Hey, that was fucking beautiful.
Way back then in 2009, where everything was simple and falling in line. Never could I comprehend it. I don't know how it started, but I know how it ended. Ten years later, and things have changed. Everything is shuffled and rearranged. Don't go outside, things are pale, dehydrated, and everything's stale. But I miss you and you miss me. Too great a distance that we can't see. So here's a wall and here's a fist. Great white whale that I miss.
The hourglass is running low.
The hourglass is running low.
Losing time by always running from the pleasant morning every
what was our mnemonic device? They make
The store.
the
Sirens is
store
next.
makes hot mayonnaise hamburgers.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how
All right, so we're
that
playing
was to remember
store.
the song names.
Yeah. All right, this one's called Sirens.
Addicted to bad attitudes and children playing grown up I adored. My favorite son. Lying awake when I start to shake, thinking of times we had behind us. Why can't you be cool? But they could be wrong, but they caught it. And when you've been so long, time falling to the bottom of the pit, you dug with a smile, 'cause you're hearing sirens. And they're calling you, but they're swallowing all your ships of friends and second chances. Silence. No self-control. You'll never learn how to roll or repair all these unmended fences. Coming back from short attacks, a fear fits lost its charm after the first 3 times. How can I make it clear you can't get by? Trading better for cheer when I swear I never wanted it to end like this in a song. But you're hearing sirens, and they're calling you home. But they're swallowing all your ships of friends and second chances. Silence, no self-control. You'll never learn how to roll or repair all these unmended fences. Sirens. Sirens are calling you home, but they're swallowing all your ships of friends and second chances. Silence, no self-control. You'll never learn how to roll or repair all these unmended fences. Sirens, sirens,
All right, this one's called Misery.
It's strange how it's easier to break the world around you than to put it into order. And it's clear that you like it that way from the way you run your mouth. We're glad your misery hates company. What a way to be. You chose to hide inside and chase your own delusions. You're a real man of mystery, and it's all in your imagination, the creation of a world where all you have are friends sorry that you wanted to leave, 'cause it's the ending of your story that the world's gonna read. And you've been living it out. You write it down for me to share it when you're gone, and all will see that you're a misery. I'm not sorry that you wanted to leave. It's the ending of your story that the world's gonna read. And you've been living it out. To write it down for me to share it when you're gone, and all will see that you're a misery. You're just a misery. Yeah, misery. A lonely misery.
Anyways, instead of hot mayonnaise, the song's actually called Hearts and Minds.
And it's beautiful. It's as beautiful as hot mayonnaise.
Growing up in a small town home, knowing the same thing we've always known. Friends and family were always there. Never worry, never a care. They'll stay in our hearts and in our minds, drifting through the clear from time to time. They'll stay in our hearts and in our minds, drifting through the clear from time to time. Getting older they may go, knowing the heartache and the woe. The road ahead is full of curves, ups and downs, testing nerves. They'll stay in our hearts and in our minds, drifting through the clear from time to time. They'll stay in our hearts and in our minds, drifting through the clear from time to time. Never knowing what they'll see, knowing that some things will always be. Masses of humanity will always have to suffer. They'll stay in our hearts and in our minds, drifting through the clear from time to time. They'll stay in our hearts and in our minds, drifting through the clear from time to time.
Let's do Headache. This is the hamburgers.
Hamburger portion of
The
the
song's
show.
called Hamburgers, and we're going to stick with that.
All right. Well, that one's 180, so we can do
Yeah, perfect.
All right, but seriously, it's called Headache.
Yeah, it's called Headache. For everyone out there watching in YouTube land.
Ready?
Yeah.
If you think you're sick of waiting, you should know I'm sick of waking up to the sounds of mornings, the sirens warning me, forever warning me. An alarm clock breaks the silence of these bastard days. Time for sentencing, but the time we had is worth the price we'll pay. If I could do it again, I'd put last night away. Yeah. No one said it was destruction, reconstruction never fades away. Yes, the will to stop is never gonna fade. So let's do it again for the last night away. Yeah. No one said it was ending. No one said I was wrong. I fell in love with the meaning of those times I can't replace. But this headache is never going away. Weight on your chest is a test you can pass. Just keep taking it day after day. The damage is gone, we can't go back. Let's just wait for the next one. There's always a lesson to show all the good that I lack. And remind me why I'm going back. No one said it was ending. No one said I was wrong. I fell in love with the meaning of those times I can't replace. No one said it was ending. No one said I was lost. I fell in love with the meaning of those times I can't replace. I can't replace.
That's it.
Uh,
Store's
the
already made
store makes hot mayonnaise hamburgers.
hot mayonnaise hamburgers.
That'll be the name of this set. This session was called "The Store Makes
Brought
Hot
to you by the
Mayonnaise."
store that makes hot mayonnaise hamburgers.
Yeah. And Jerry's famous dental butter.